Hi, I'm Stephanie.
I'm Katie.
This is the Reading Nook Magic podcast.
And we are on part 2 of our Fourth Wing Iron Flame 2-part episode.
The two-parter. Super hyped, obviously. They just keep coming. This one had 1.75 million ratings, 184,000 reviews, and 4.4 stars. So a little bit less than Fourth Wing, but I feel like that matches up to my opinion of the two.
I agree. I don't know if I'm capable of giving star ratings that aren't just 5s. Like I usually just do like 5, 4.5, 4.
Oh, like
yeah, I know. Yeah, but
well, no, I mean like
no, I know, but like 4.4, like they're
you're like 4.25.
yeah, it's very specific. But yeah, no, I agree because I didn't like it as much. I enjoyed it a lot. I didn't like it as much as the first book. There's a lot of reason why, but there are a lot of things that I did really enjoy about it. I did read it very fast. Read it in 2 days.
Yeah, and I've read both books twice and equally as fast. And there's books that I can barely get through, so the fact that I can read them again
and
so
enjoy it,
and so it does the job.
Yeah, for sure. I think we'll just like talk about the big elephant in the room about what was annoying about this book was clearly Violet. Ugh. Yeah, like seriously. We talked about it in part 1. My favorite part of Fourth Wing was that she was so in control and confident, and Xaden talks about it. Like, can you be the girl that I met? Can you be the girl that challenges me, that says what you think, that asks what you want to know? And she's just like such a wanker.
Stop keeping secrets. I can't trust you.
Yeah, we're going to have to dive into this because it's just too annoying.
It was so annoying. As soon as I saw anything in the book pop up between those two, I was like,
yeah,
here
stop.
we go again.
You're perfectly matched. It makes sense. It
Shut
works.
up already.
Like, you have a whole battle to follow. We don't need this, like, friction. I get it. Like, yeah.
Come on. Violence, be better.
Be violent. I thought she was violent. All of a sudden, she's just, like, crying in the corner, like, not asking things. And also being a complete hypocrite. Complete hypocrite. It's like, hey, I just met you. You're a CSI agent. We have really great sex. Can you just tell me all the classified information of the U.S. government? No. What? How is that even irrelevant? I understand that, like, it could put her in danger and she wants to know things that would affect her. One valid point.
But I don't think that's her stance.
I think she's just, I want to know everything.
Yeah.
We just started dating, you psycho. I get you're bonded and everything. However, you just fell in love with this man.
But speaking of hypocrisy, she's keeping secrets
The whole time.
from him too.
And her friends.
I know. Well, I know, but the point is that like she started to do a lot of like the book work and digging and stuff and wasn't going to tell him. Like she was equally keeping secrets.
Yeah. I think it's relevant that it's her friends too. I really do. Because it's like you see the reason why. And she brings that up. That when she finally told her best friend about it, her reaction was hurt but understanding. She's like, wow, I didn't get that to Xaden. Like, no, you didn't. Yeah. You didn't.
So annoying.
So annoying. It almost... Actually, it was annoying enough. It almost ruined the book for me.
I feel like that's why it's not as good as the first one.
Yeah.
Like if you took away that annoying relationship needling, the book would probably be as good as the first one. But that one was like, it's so overpowering.
Do I still love him? Yeah, you do. Because he hasn't changed.
But then also how she was acting, like, I know we were going to bring her up, but like the jealousy of the ex, like she just turned into the toxic, annoying female girlfriend. Like she was doing all the things that I don't want to watch in my main character.
Interesting.
Like,
I hated Kat. I didn't feel that. Kat got to me. The ex-girlfriend, I would have been jealous.
Well,
maybe you're a better person than me.
No, but like...
It was annoying.
He didn't do anything to make her jealous.
He didn't. No.
So, like, no, I don't agree with jealousy in those instances. Like, just because you have an ex, just because she
exists. I mean, he could have... See, I don't think he should have to tell her any classified information about his job and his rank and his post. I mean, he probably could have told her, like, hey, my ex-girlfriend's at this base I go to all the time. Just, like, heads up. Forewarn her. I don't know. Like, that would have been the only valid point.
Yeah.
Because and especially knowing her personality. Like, everyone knows Kat's a bitch. She's a bitch.
But when would he have time to have said that though? They only see each other barely on the weekend.
That's true.
Because there was just so much messiness. They hardly spent time together.
Right.
How are you dumping all this information on or deciding what's important and what's not? Because their focus wasn't on the past. They were fighting over
like actual relevant in them now stuff.
There was no time for proper like getting to know you.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean,
because in the last book they were the getting to know you, and then they got sent off to die basically. So there was like,
when are you gonna do that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, his letters. Yeah. Why would you waste those letters talking about your ex-girlfriend that you can't stand, that you were betrothed?
No, he was like building the foundation, talking about growing up and his family
what matters.
and things. Speaking of that, I would have loved to actually see whole letters instead of excerpts.
I know.
I wanted to see the letters.
I wanted to know him.
Yeah.
Can we know him? Is
that
going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen.
No. Either.
Yeah. Whew, the ending of this one. All right, we'll get there in a second, but
yeah,
I have a lot of speculation. I'm really excited to get into it. Is it the last book? I don't know.
Onyx Storm?
Yeah,
there's supposedly 5 books in total.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's just going to get messier.
Oh, my God. It's pretty messy as it is, so someone's going bad. Can we just have a happy ending?
That's not why we read these books.
So there's a lot more action in this book. I saw the world better. The world building was better, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They flip-flopped.
Yeah.
Like, the books flip-flopped. Like, it was more complicated, more world building, a little bit more character development. Like, you were a little more attached to, like, her squad.
Yes.
You saw a little more pieces of them. I think that's actually what I liked about this book, is that it was focused on the loyalty of her squad, and, like, and then just everybody banding together, like, when it mattered, like teachers, and even bringing back in Dane, like, right? Like,
yeah, but even that part of her personality where she's saying, let's give them a chance to make their own decision, which her friends taught her because she wasn't giving them the chance to make their own decision. But she learned, she grew, and then she took half the school. That was what I liked about her in the first book.
Yeah.
Didn't really translate to her personal relationship.
no.
That was annoying the whole time.
There's still evidence of the real her being there. Like,
it kind of took away from the romance part of it. I'm realizing now how you can love someone but not want to be with them. Like, you don't deserve him. I'm sorry. You're so annoying. And that just kind of, I'm not even invested in them staying together.
I could see that falling apart in the next books, which would make the bonding very interesting.
I'm usually connected to the female counterpart, even if it's the male that's really getting me into the story. We'll see.
She kind of ruined it.
She did ruin it. I'm ironically, because there's another book series that did this even more, and I still felt connected to the female. For some reason, this just really just cut it off for me, and I'm maybe Kat is a better fit for him. You're so irritating, and I know I'm still talking about that, but it kind of killed the romance part about it, and I obviously like that part of the books.
Yeah.
I wonder where that's going to go. She doesn't.
Yeah, because usually you look forward to the moments, like, ooh, they're finally getting together, or ooh, that. But you're like, oh, wait, I see the word Xaden and the word violent, or.
Yeah.
See the word Violet together, and I'm like, great, they're going to fight. I don't even want to read what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
And it's all intermixed, even in their, like, heated scenes. It's still, like, that ruins it. It detracts from it.
Yeah, it's like oh.
The build-up. It's like, ugh.
Right, and now we know that something seriously bad just happened. Like, at the end of that book, clearly he sold his soul.
Yeah.
What's she going to do? Stand by him? She can't even stand by him when he's like, honey, I can't tell you about my staff meeting. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, what's she going to do? She's going to betray him. I'd follow him to the ends of the earth. Venom and all. Take me, Zaddy.
Oh, my God.
But seriously. Yeah, secrets die with the people that keep them. The assassination attempts and stuff, you found that interesting?
It was just one of, like, the recurring, like, notes in the book. Like, it was repeated multiple times. I don't know. I want to say at least 3 or 4 or 5 times.
And that was Varish?
It was actually Dane's father who I think said it a couple times.
Right.
It was whispered in the assassin, and part of it whispered it. It was just on repeat. Like, I like to make notes of like the repeat. Like,
so what is the relevance or the importance, and will that come back up? Varish is pretty, we just listened to another review. I already saw the parallels between this and Game of Thrones, Hunger Games. We could talk about how you think it's like Harry Potter. I don't see it. But like the dragons, it all reminds me of What's Beyond the Wall, Winter's Coming, like the dead riders, the counterpart to the good. Super, super similar, which I love Game of Thrones, so I loved that. But yes, hearing him compared to Lord Joffrey was funny to me because
hilarious.
The interrogation scene was, imagine being tortured, healed, tortured again, healed, tortured again, like bones snapping. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say for the most part, the books are not that, like, gory.
No.
Like, and violent in the moment. Like, it's, like, the reliving and the trauma is, like, powerful, but that part was, like,
intense,
pretty horrifying. And then to have, like, the healer come in to heal her, somebody she knew and grew
who
up
loved
with.
her.
Yeah,
that hurt.
Nolan.
That hurt. He's a fucking bastard.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
yeah, but
and what was his justification?
Terrifying.
You're gonna compromise our safety. I guess, look at me, I'm defending Dane, and then I'm like, but Nolan's a piece of shit. But
Well,
yeah,
they just think that it's, like, for the greater good, right? Like, they're protecting their people, the people that chose to cross the law. Like, they're gonna do whatever it takes to protect.
but who could, even the other teachers that stay and defend the college, check Varish. Is it Varish or Varish? I can't. I mispronounce everything. I don't know what my problem is.
My mind wants to say Varish.
Yeah. How can you not stop someone from doing,
like, when his dragon killed, like,
the whole third? Yeah.
Whole squad.
What?
And that's just part of the school.
Yeah, that's where, like, it's a miss for me with the school, because those are valuable assets. Mm-hmm. I understand the desensitizing them to watching your friends and family die, so you're a weapon and you're, like, honed, like, born identity, like, you are just a machine. But really, they're going to be like, oh, you just killed off third years that are an asset. They're trained. They're ready to go. They're bonded. And why is it less traumatic for some riders and their bonded dragons? Is it based on the power of the dragon? That's unclear to me. Why is her dragon going to die if she dies, but other dragons aren't going to die? She keeps saying all their lives are bound, all four of them, right? If she dies, they die. If they die, she dies. I mean, I get if your dragon dies, you die.
Of riders? I don't remember.
I don't really think, I looked for it because I thought about it. I was like, okay, so all of their lives are intertwined, but then one dragon can kill someone else's bonded rider and it's okay. I mean, I know that dragons can live. He lived through his last rider dying. She's had previous riders. Yeah. But so why are their lives so bound? Or maybe I'm misunderstanding that it's only her and Xaden.
I feel like it was talked about, but I'm not recalling.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems intensely dramatic for not really making sense. That could be maybe a plot hole, maybe something I missed. Yeah. Which there's not a lot of, so I appreciate that. How do you feel about Xaden's dragon? I like her.
Oh, yeah, I like her.
She's a bitch. I love it.
Yeah, I have no issues with her. It's interesting to find out that she keeps secrets from Taryn, too.
Yeah.
Similarly.
There's like a lot of secrets within the dragon that none of them know about the feather tail. They know about the feather tails or they don't.
The dragons?
Yeah.
The dragons do.
So then how did none of them... So they're protecting her because they want to protect all the hatchlings. Yeah. Something tells me a dragon like Solus would tell Varish. But maybe not. Maybe they would never break the code to violate the hatchlings.
Oh, interesting. Good point. Never thought about that.
You know what I'm... Because he clearly has no respect for any of them.
I don't think the dragons don't seem to know what she is. Like, they thought she was going to be a black dragon. So the fact that she's now morphing into that, or became that seventh breed, like, even they didn't know that because it's 650 years ago.
She was already incubating.
Waited 650 years to hatch. And I think I remember seeing something where Terrence said he wasn't 600 years old.
Yeah, he's only
he wasn't one of the
100
first
or
riders.
something. He's a middling or whatever.
So they don't actually know. Like, that breed has died off since then or something.
Yeah. She's the leader of her own den.
Yeah.
She's so cute.
Yeah.
She's going to be fierce.
Made a note. Since we're talking about it, I just want to make a note of what I'd written down. She said, I waited 650 years to hatch. You have a mind of a scribe and the heart of a rider. You're as unique as I am. There was also something else she said, but I don't remember. But it was like, she was like, Andarna said, if you can't recognize what I am, then you don't deserve
to know. Right, if you didn't get there.
Yeah, if you didn't get there on your
Because
own,
Violet
you
started
don't deserve
complaining
to know.
again that someone didn't tell her or something.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, and like, and Donna
It's
just like,
you need to be worthy.
Yeah.
I love Arn's always saying stuff like, well, you're not a child to be comforted. I feel like he's talking to me. I feel like I'm growing up with, similarly to the, like, I'm growing up with her a little bit. Because she's complaining and she's saying all these things and he's just rolling his eyes and it's it's interesting because the author knows she's annoying because he calls her out constantly.
Yeah.
It's like, you're being an idiot. That's not your problem. You're not a child. You're an adult. Get it together. Shut up. So it is sort of like a coming of age book too, I think. Well, obviously, she's growing up.
Yeah.
But she's a little older than a coming of age book, but clearly that's what's happening.
Yeah.
She's completely different from who she thought she was going to be.
True.
Completely. A little far-fetched, I'm not going to lie. Like, being someone who was an athlete and then out of shape, like, to imagine these people training for this is more to the beginning of the series, but I have to comment on it. It's just, I get it. It's like the triumph, the underdog story, zero to hero, Hercules, whatever. It makes a little bit more sense in the other series that you read where the woman is trained her whole life. Because, come on, I'd have to train so hard to keep up with a man in a sparring match. Come on, silly.
Yeah.
It's silly. Sorry. I wasn't even going to go there, but just thinking about it, it just doesn't make sense. But it's one thing if her magic made her strong. It's interesting that she wields light and he wields shadows, and that seems to be a constant theme in these books, too. The woman's always wielding light, and the man's always wielding darkness.
A lot of shadows.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the main characters have shadows.
Yeah. Shadows control the darkness. And then they're just, like, shooting light out of them. Like, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
The male-female archetype, I guess, is light and dark. I didn't really
so.
realize that in other literature, but it certainly seems to be the theme in this genre.
The dark role, though. Like,
yeah.
When you think about it, like, I would be the darkness. I think the shadows.
It's funny that she didn't really hone her skills. I didn't like catch that when she was first practicing and they were just having her shoot off. I mean, they used it as punishment too, but just shoot off her lightning, shoot off her lightning, shoot off her lightning, and never really worrying that she couldn't aim. And then when she starts training with Felix, I was like, oh yeah, is she even trained? What does she know? She felt almost insignificant, like intentionally, like you're strong. You could be this amazing, all-powerful being, but you're not that yet. Yeah. So by the end of the second book, she's still not reached her potential. She's still not, I think, what we're going to see her become.
Yeah. Well, because we still need her second signet, too. Like, how are they going to...
She's going to get a second signet?
She's got 2 dragons.
Oh, I thought it was only dragons that, like, Xaden.
She's the only one with 2 dragons. So.
Oh, right, from Andarna. Duh. Like, what? What is going to be her signet?
I don't know.
No thoughts on that? No guesses?
No, that's what makes me so mad about these books. Like, trying to keep up with all the foreshadowing and the things. I have no idea.
I wonder if it'll be related to stopping time or if that was just a feather tail thing. Because they don't really know anything about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Because it wasn't Violet stopping time.
Yeah, it was Andarna.
Yeah, but it's Violet doing the lightning. She's taking the power.
And then, and it's manifesting.
The stopping time was actually like Andarna was doing it.
Right.
It's not like Taryn is like, shoot lightning, right. You know, like,
yeah,
different.
I don't know what it's going to be. Oh, speaking of foreshadowing, just saying, I knew that he could hear her in the first book. I didn't write it down and I should have. But
he can't hear her.
Well, he can hear her intentions, which is because he answers her a couple times. And I didn't flag it. He answers what she didn't say a couple times. And I'm like, oh, well, he can hear her. And then they kill.
Well, so I thought that was just like her not realizing she's thinking the thoughts in her head.
Okay.
Like, because they, like how she can talk to her dragons, she could talk to him. And sometimes even Sigale. Like,
yeah.
So I thought that's what that was. Speaking of that, that's how mad I am that I have no memory, because I would have loved to have been able to remember from the first time reading that was his second signet, and then reading Fourth Wing to see where that played a role.
You forgot.
Had no idea.
So it was brand new information.
Brand new. I was like, I read him for the first time.
So
I don't know what's
it's kind of funny. I'm going to make fun of myself a little bit here because I thought I'm a detective. And I realized he was intrinsic intrinsic, whatever.
But he's not technically intrinsic because he can't.
Well, he's a variation of it.
Yeah.
Which who knows if he actually is, though, because whether or not he would develop that skill more because he's not allowed to practice it. Because you have to be, I understand why. It's a security risk.
I don't know how you hone the skills because in the first book, as soon as the kids signet, like, what?
Stop it. Hold on. I'm making fun of myself right now. So I'm like, oh, he hears her. That's what he is. I write it down and like 1 page later, they're like, this is what I am. I'm like, all right.
Nailed it.
I guess I'm really a genius. Anyway.
Nailed it.
But yeah, you can't, because he talks about he can't hone it. He doesn't know anything about it. No one talks about it. You're not allowed to be it. That one kid was murdered in the courtyard or whatever in the first book.
He started spewing everything.
Yeah, out of control. What an idiot.
That's
That's also silly to me. Like, I understand I've never been tortured or put in these situations. You got to know you're going to manifest a signet. You're there to do that. Wouldn't you be a little bit more prepared when it started and not freak out?
I mean, imagine just sitting there one day and then you start hearing like all these voices in your head, kind of like Bruce Almighty, right? Like the day he starts hearing all the prayers, like, and you're just like, what the fuck? I don't know. That's probably it.
I think I'd be pumped. I'd be like, I'm going to control all these motherfuckers. Maybe I'm
scary.
evil. I am. I definitely, it's a good thing I don't have a dragon or powers or magic. What's your thoughts on Kat? Do you hate Kat?
I do.
You do. You hate her.
I do. Because I hate females who seek power for like their own selfish reasons. Like, she's not a good person.
No.
Even for her to say like she's only wants Xaden for the crown. Like, they're just like,
right.
She's just not a good person. And like, if you know that like you could manipulate someone's emotions and you use that to your utmost advantage, like, she's not a good person.
Yeah.
Like, that's not somebody I want in my.
I feel like you could be more empathetic to her if it was love. If it was like, oh, I love Xaden.
Almost, maybe, but still, like, a manipulation in any capacity
is a no
never
for you.
Okay. Like, never okay for me.
Yeah, she's pretty pathetic too. She's just like but then she started to grow on me after I realized how devoted she was to the cause and a strong warrior and all the things. And I can respect a strong woman, and maybe she is correct that on paper she is a better fit. Politically speaking, we're talking about nobles and nobility and power moves and arranged marriages. I mean, yeah, are they nice? Is that romantic? Absolutely not. But they are power moves and they do form alliances and stuff. So it's like,
it's fine. That's just not why I'm in those worlds. Like, I'm not in that. Like, no, I don't know.
But she's a bitch. She's a bitch, and she takes it too far. I almost don't believe it's not about love, because that's not how you're going to get a man to marry you for a logistic reason. Like, it's either he loves you or he agrees with the logistic reason. But if he doesn't agree with the logistic reason before he even met Violet, before he even fell in love,
already was like,
then how is your game plan to just be an annoying, like...
You're going to win him back over by destroying the woman he loves?
No.
I don't know. Not my people.
Yeah, you would definitely not talk to her.
No.
I would fist fight her, but I feel like I'd fight her and then have a little respect. But they did do that, right? They fight and then they kind of let it go for the cause.
I feel like they evened out in the second half, but I still don't. I could do without her.
I think she's going to be important. Well, no, you definitely can't trust her. She would definitely push Violet off a cliff if she thought it would get her the crown, which I'm also confused about. So he's the Duke. Maybe I should know my, like, royalty hierarchy a little bit better. They keep saying crown, they keep saying throne, but then he's the Duke. Dukes don't sit on thrones. So is he the king, or is he a Duke? Or was he a king and then they were demoted to Duke and now they were dismantled? Did you get that?
I feel like it was mentioned, but I can't remember what his dad's title was.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah. But I'm like, oh, they're gonna be thinking he's gonna be the dead walker.
Didn't Violet call him the like Lord of Territory?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, he definitely said she said, is that your throne? When they hook up on it.
Yeah.
Did Dane grow on you in the second book? I know you hated him.
Well, yeah, because he made the right choices. He killed Barish, which is, started to kill him, Yeah, that's where it's just like the other book, he was just so annoying with the rules and like didn't actually see Violet, like didn't see the potential, just didn't see her. He only saw what he wanted.
His projection of her.
Yeah, which is obviously a sore spot for me in life, right? Like you gotta see the people and like
Hear her.
yeah. So he didn't do that. But then he did. And he joined the cause and he's doing all the good things and he's very much cares about being her friend in the second book and supporting her and helping her with translating the books and the things, and he's not being an annoying like lovesick puppy. He like genuinely still wants to be your friend.
Do you find it attractive that Xaden then becomes overly, like he becomes kind of overly protective? Like she slams the door in his face and says, you know, you're acting like Dave. She's like, bye. Because now it's interesting. I don't.
That's what I mean. They're just
my prediction is they're done. I don't think they're not going to be together. I think there's always going to be like a torn part of it, but I don't think they're going to end up together.
I saw some like foreshadowing spoiler things where they're like, what if Dane is like
The character and like what I just said actually happens.
Yeah. Like what if they actually end up working out? Should be a pretty big plot twist.
I'm excited. You ready to read it? We're going to read it in a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Follow us on Instagram.